I am Ivy, 13 years old, and this twat waffle is Fatuous Taffy.
Hi folks, welcome to another video by the brilliant Expat Taffy. Yes, that's what I said, the brilliant Expat Taffy.
Listen, pal, let's discuss this thing sanely.
On YouTube, this man goes as the brilliant Expat Taffy. He likes to insult people who go against him, and sometimes I do the same. But in this video I will be polite, and in case I slip up, in the top of the screen, there are 2 insult counters to keep score, one for me, one for Taffy. And to be correct, for the name I called him, before the intro, I already have 1. Can you believe that Taffy has also written a book?
This is a book titled Alien Mysteries Solved, with the word alien inappropriately capitalized, allegedly written by our dear Taffy. The description says, irrefutable evidence of messages received and alien activity on planet Earth. The author assures readers that this book will deliver 1. To NASA, great embarrassment. 2. To UFO/alien enthusiasts, confirmation and satisfaction. 3. To all doubters and skeptics, inevitable defeat, as they will not be up against the author of this book, but against powers far more advanced than all of us. This is what he believes in. He believes that he spoke with aliens. Taffy's book has 1 star on Amazon, the result of a single review titled From Ice to Liquid Magma. The review is not a very positive one, as you can see.
Now, Dead Kennedy's encounter with Taffy.
Okay, Mr. Empty Head Kennedy, here's the first photo I started out with in my earlier days, examining these fake Apollo photos. Now what I can tell you is this photo here now, which is supposed to be in the first photo taken after they landed on the moon. This photo, thanks to the brilliant Expat Taffy's discoveries, this photo has now been deleted.
No, it isn't. Here it is. It is literally everywhere on the internet. I just googled it.
Now what I can tell you, Mr. Dead Ed Kennedy, is at the time I first examined this, I could find 18 anomalies in this photo, proving it to be 100% fake.
Not a surprise, because it says everywhere. It is a composite picture.
As I said, initially, over 18 anomalies discovered in that photo. I won't be wasting too much time on all of them here. I'll give you the link to the video I done 6 years ago on it. But what I will do, I'll show you a few of those clues here. Some of my favourites. And why are they my favourites? Because they prove that idiots like you and any other supporter of NASA are nothing but mentally insane arseholes, Mr. Deadhead Kennedy. There you are, Mr. Deadhead Kennedy. There's one of the early discoveries of me, the brilliant Expat Taffy. That photo was photoshopped and made in 27th of the 3rd, 2008. There's the data staring you in the face. Okay, mister?
So what? It is a composite, and that is public knowledge.
That's text on a screen. Okay, mister? None of the numbers on the screen match anything relevant in a Google search, so all you did was point at something. It's not even clear what, because you couldn't be bothered to explain it to anyone, and then flash some text up on the screen.
Remember what I told you? From what your eyes see, what does your brain deduce? There you are. Dead Kennedy? As far as the brilliant Expat Taffy is concerned, here's what my eyes see and what I deduce. What this object looks like to me is a black figure. It can't be a shadow because there's no obstructing objects to create it. But it looks exactly like a bird perched on the back of an armadillo. You can see wings, a tail, 2 legs, a head and a beak.
Isn't that weird? Perhaps there was a crow flying over with an armadillo in its claws.
Okay then. I think I might be about done with Taffy because I legit don't even see what he's talking about. I see a rock. I don't see a bird or an armadillo. At all. I'm not being funny. Seriously, someone screenshot this image and draw some lines on it because I legitimately do not see a fucking thing there.
Okay, Mr. Deadhead Kennedy, here's the last of the Lem photos that Buzz coming down the ladder. In this photo, a very serious anomaly, and going on the saying of the famous Sherlock Holmes, from what your eyes see, what do you deduce? My eyes see one serious anomaly, and my brain deduces it's a deliberately inserted whistleblower's clue, where the whistleblowers are trying to tell us it's fake and not on the moon. Well, take a look at it here, Mr. Deadhead Kennedy. That photo there with Buzz. He's come down the ladder and he's standing in the footpad of the Lem. And surprisingly enough, a discovery by me, the brilliant Expat Taffy, something in the footpad of the Lem. What the fuck is this? Let's take a look at it, shall we? We'll brighten it up. Wow, look what we've got here, Mr. Deadhead Kennedy. In the footpad of Buzz Aldrin's Lem, we've got a wee little pink flamingo. And he haven't got a spacesuit on. Now what's he doing up on the moon? Idiot?
It seems that, according to Taffy, flamingos live underground and this came up to bite in the boot of the spacesuit. Or is this just the top of the foot part of the boot? You decide.
Now folks, before we get down to discussing the photos, let me introduce you to 3 favourite old sayings of mine. First one, a good general never goes into battle without the ammunition to win it.
And he probably wears headphones to prevent acoustic feedback.
Second one, by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, eliminate the impossibles, and whatever remains, however improbable, it must be the truth.
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle would also have closed the street windows before he started recording.
And the third one, by the famous detective Sherlock Holmes.
You do know that Sherlock Holmes is a fictional character and never existed in reality, right?
From what your eyes see, what does your brain deduce?
Correct, but sometimes your eyes also tell you, we need glasses. Okay, let's speed this up a little. We already know how brilliant and intelligent you are.
You see it? Using those 3 sayings, throughout these photo investigations, I found the phone me to be the genius, and these NASA shows to be the morons. Okay folks, what I'll make you all know is, when I first started examining these photos, I was no photographic expert. I was a novice. I had a camera, I just put it filming, I set the settings on the camera, hold it and click, and that was it. When the film was full, take it out, take it to a chemist, and that are the photos. That's all I knew about photography. I was no photographic expert, okay? But you will be amazed at what I found in the photos. And if a novice like me can find out these...
Okay, Mr. Empty Head Kennedy, here's the first photo I started out with in my earlier days, examining these fake Apollo photos. Now what I can tell you is this photo here now, which is supposed to be in the first photo taken after they landed on the moon. This photo, thanks to the brilliant Expat Taffy's discoveries, this photo has now been deleted. Now what I can tell you, Mr. Deadhead Kennedy, is at the time I first examined this, I could find 18 anomalies in this photo, proving it to be 100% fake. As time has gone on, I've discovered more. There's a lot more than 18 on this photo, and now it's been deleted thanks to the brilliant Expat Taffy.
Like I already said before, this picture is literally all over the internet, and in the original size of 4175 pixels and not the half VGA size you always use.
Initially, over 18 anomalies discovered in that photo. I won't be wasting too much time on all of them here. I'll give you the link to the video I done 6 years ago on it. What I will do, I'll show you a few of those clues here. Some of my favourites. And why are they my favourites? Because they prove that idiots like you and any other supporter of NASA are nothing but mentally insane arseholes. Now what I'm going to show you, remember the words of Sherlock Holmes. From what your eyes see, what does your brain deduce? There you are, Mr. Deadhead Kennedy. There's one of the early discoveries of me, the brilliant Expat Taffy. That photo was photoshopped and made in 27th of the 3rd, 2008.
No, it was not made or created that date. And who created the text on your photos? The letters and arrows look very much like they are made by 1995 micrographics Windows Draw. Decades after the moon landings. To protect the originals, and I mean the still photos, that were taken with Hasselblad cameras, on 70mm film, could be digitized and enhanced in quality. They aren't created by Photoshop or whatever imaging software.
There's the data staring you in the face. Okay, Mr. Deadhead Kennedy? Okay, Mr. Empty-headed Dead-end Kennedy. Next thing we're going to look at here is what idiots like you claim to be the sun, up in the right-hand corner. You claim that's the sun, don't you? You are that thick. Well, I can tell you, I've discovered it's not the sun, it's a massive spotlight. It's a floodlight. And here's the proof coming up. There you are, Mr. Deadhead Arsehole Kennedy. There's the floodlight on top of this massive mast here. And if you examine that photo carefully, what you can see all around it is sets of support wires coming from the top down to the ground.
What is it with the terrible, out-of-focus pictures? The cheapest camera of that time could produce quality photos. But even with the terrible quality, it clearly shows UHF radio dishes, used for radio or television wave beam connections between radio and television stations in the days before the internet. And this one is possible a temporary structure. It isn't even a mast, it is a scaffolding framework.
There you are, Mr. Dead-end Kennedy. Take a look at this photo. What does that look like to you? Most probably you'll say, it's a guitar neck, showing the strings. Well, it's not, idiot.
No, a guitar does not have 5 but 6 strings, and this does absolutely not look anything like a guitar neck. Where are these 5 parallel lines in the Apollo 11 photos? I mean the real photos and not the low-resolution pictures you show all the time. They can't be the support lines, because they are on the 4 corners, in 4 different directions away from the scaffolding structure you showed. It just isn't a floodlight tower.
If you examine that LEM photo very carefully, examine the sun, what you call the sun, idiots like you call the sun, you'll find these wires coming from it. There's 8 sets of these wires coming from that spotlight down to the ground.
Because the support cables are stretched in 4 different directions, there is no way in hell that these 4, not 8, support cables can be projected as 5, not 4, parallel lines on a picture, with 1 blue and 4 yellow pointing arrows. And you call this evidence? Really?
Now tell us, Mr. Dead-end Kennedy, what the hell have you got a spotlight doing on the moon, on a mast, with support wires?
So far we have seen that the evidence of the quote-unquote brilliant Expat Taffy isn't even worth the pixels they are projected with on your screen. This was my follow-up on the video with Dead Kennedy in space. However, this is not the end of it. In part 2, I will explore some more gems of silliness from his channel, but somehow I think Expat Taffy and I will never become friends. Hello, this is the Dutch Heretic channel, and I am Ivy, the host on all of Ned McRan's channels. Ned and I put a lot of work in our videos, and would really like to see our channel become bigger. So please, hit that like and subscribe buttons and ring that notification bell. We are not monetized, so get nothing from YouTube, but if you want to help us, please consider to help us at www.patreon.com/DutchHeretic. We want to do more, with better animations and shit. Your help will be very much appreciated.